In our 6 a.m. hour, we learned about the amazing journey of architect Alfred Preis, the man who designed the USS Arizona Memorial, which is celebrating 60 years since its opening tomorrow. And in celebration of that, the Pearl Harbor National Memorial has an exhibit opening this week on Alfred Preis. And joining me this morning to tell us all about it is UH Manoa professor Laura McGuire. Good morning, Laura. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the upcoming exhibit on Austrian turned Hawaii resident Alfred Preis? We got to hear a little bit about his journey earlier, which was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, so the exhibit, even though it's at Pearl Harbor, does not just feature the works of Pearl Harbor and the Arizona Memorial, but is actually more of sort of a documentation of his entire career as a Hawaii architect, which I think is really important. He designed over 180 buildings on the island, and what we're seeking to show is sort of his design trajectory, if you will, from really a Hawaii regionalist to an international modernist. With the USS Arizona Memorial. Now, you know, Preis came to this country as a frightened refugee from the Nazis and ended up here, of all places, probably the only Nazi refugee to have ended up in Hawaii. So his story is really movie-making kind of material.
I thought that was fascinating when we were speaking with Professor Axel Schmitzberger about the exhibit and about Alfred himself, how they came all the way from Austria to Hawaii and how he ended up here. But you mentioned he designed 180 other buildings. I guess what other buildings here in Hawaii might people not know were designed by him?
So actually, it's a hard question to answer. I mean, so they're common ones. Like a lot of people know that he did the original entrance to the Honolulu Zoo because it's a very sort of public-facing building. But there are other really important commissions that he did, such as the ILWU headquarters down on Atkinson Drive. Which was really a groundbreaking building on many, many fronts. He also did one of my favorite buildings on the islands, the Lapahoehoe School on the Big Island, which was, the original school was destroyed in the '46 tsunami. And Preis and his cohorts were tasked to design a new school that was also supposed to be a memorial to the death toll of the tsunami. And what they created was just this incredible work of Hawaii regionalism and modernism put together. So if you're ever on the Big Island on the windward side, that's definitely a building to check out. Now, unfortunately, most of the residences, which number around 160 of his buildings, very few of those exist intact anymore. And of course, as we all know, this has to do with, you know, things like termite damage, land values, all of those sorts of things. There have been insensitive renovations over the years, but we've essentially lost a tremendous number of his buildings. And one of the reasons that we're doing this exhibition is to bring attention to Preis as an architect in order that if someone owns a Preis house, they know what a gem they have on their hands and that they should keep it intact.
As before we let you go, as you want to just tell people why they should maybe want to come out and check out the exhibit and learn about Alfred Preis, which for many of us we may not know other than the Arizona Memorial.
Yeah, I mean, I think the main reason would be is that, you know, Preis was probably one of the most prolific modernist architects in Hawaii. And he developed a particular style for Hawaii, for his new home. That really outdid many of his modernist competitors. So what we're showing you in the exhibition is just a little snapshot of the amazing spaces that he designed around the islands.
Thank you so much for joining us, Laura. Great information, and we'll have to make sure we all go and check out this exhibit.
Thank you.